strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. Just remember, you can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. It's simple: if it jiggles, it's fat. Help others and give something back. I guarantee you will discover that while public service improves the lives and the world around you, its greatest reward is the enrichment and new meaning it will bring your own life. Milk is for babies. When you grow up, you have to drink beer. The mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision the fact that you can do something, you can do it, as long as you really believe 100%. My body is like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't think about it, I just have it. Bodybuilding is much like any other sport. To be successful, you must dedicate yourself 100% to your training, diet, and mental approach. You know, nothing is more important than education, because nowhere are our stakes higher. Our future depends on the quality of education of our children today. In our society, the women who break down barriers are those who ignore limits. Money doesn't make you happy. I now have $50 million, but I was just as happy when I had $48 million. I knew I was a winner back in the late 60s. I knew I was destined for great things. People will say that kind of thinking is totally immodest. I agree. Modesty is not a word that applies to me in any way. I hope it never will. Political courage is not political suicide. I have a private plane. But I fly commercial when I go to environmental conferences. I'm not looking for sympathy at all. If my life was a movie, no one would believe it. I welcome and seek your ideas, but do not bring me small ideas. Bring me big ideas to match our future. The success I have achieved in bodybuilding, motion pictures, and business would not have been possible without the generosity of the American people and the freedom here to pursue your dreams. If it's hard to remember, it'll be difficult to forget. If you work hard and play by the rules, this country is truly open to you. You can achieve anything. I have inhaled, exhaled everything. Learned helplessness is the giving up reaction, the quitting response that follows from the belief that whatever you do doesn't matter. It's time to stop thinking of the Republican Party as an exclusive club where your ideological card is checked at the door, and start thinking about how we can attract more solution-based leaders like Nathan Fletcher and Anthony Adams. My friend James Cameron and First made 3 films together: True Lies, The Terminator and Terminator 2. Of course, that was during his early, low-budget, art house period. I told Warren if he mentions Prop. 13 one more time, he has to do 500 push-ups. The future is green energy, sustainability, renewable energy. For me, life is continuously being hungry. The meaning of life is not simply to exist, to survive, but to move ahead, to go up, to achieve, to conquer. The worst thing I can be is the same as everybody else. I hate that. The last 3 or 4 reps is what makes the muscle grow. This area of pain divides the champion from someone else who is not a champion. That's what most people lack, having the guts to go on and just say they'll go through the pain no matter what happens. I think that gay marriage should be between a man and a woman. Failure is not an option. Everyone has to succeed. The resistance that you fight physically in the gym and the resistance that you fight in life can only build a strong character. Start wide, expand further, and never look back. Government's first duty and highest obligation is public safety. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Training gives us an outlet for suppressed energies created by stress and thus tones the spirit just as exercise conditions the body. My relationship to power and authority is that I'm all for it. People need somebody to watch over them. 95% of the people in the world need to be told what to do and how to behave. I don't suffer of anything that I've lost. I have a love interest in every one of my films, a gun. I am the most helpful and open up doors for everyone, and I like to share. No matter the nationality, no matter the religion, no matter the ethnic background, America brings out the best in people. I was striving to be the most muscular man, and it got me into the movies. It got me everything that I have. Well, I think that California has had a history of always spending more money than it takes in. People should make up their own mind about what they think of me. I had this child, and it destroyed my family. I'm addicted to exercising, and I have to do something every day. Everything I have, my career, my success, my family, I owe to America. I can promise you that when I go to Sacramento, I will pump up Sacramento. I feel good because I believe I have made progress in rebuilding the people's trust in their government. I am a big believer in education, because when I grew up in Austria, I had a great education. I had great teachers. I do the same exercises I did 50 years ago and they still work. I eat the same food I ate 50 years ago and it still works. You can scream at me, call me for a shoot at midnight, keep me waiting for hours, as long as what ends up on the screen is perfect. I'm sure a lot of people out there make mistakes. I went from being the Terminator to being the Governator. What's fascinating is, people in Washington would rather spend time in Hollywood, and people in Hollywood would rather spend time in Washington. I came to Hollywood and within a decade I was one of the biggest action stars of all time. Teddy Roosevelt is still a hero among environmentalists for his conservationist policies. Politically there were failures. And also on the personal level, there were tremendous failures. One of my movies was called True Lies. It's what the Democrats should have called their convention. To restore the trust of the people, we must reform the way the government operates. As president, Reagan worked very well with Democrats to do big things. It is true that he worked to reduce the size of government and cut federal taxes, and he eliminated many regulations, but he also raised taxes when necessary. I think that people are interested seeing me on the screen. Even with my divorce and with everything, I don't need money. Well, you know, I'm the forever optimist. In this country, it doesn't make any difference where you were born. It doesn't make any difference who your parents were. It doesn't make any difference if, like me, you couldn't even speak English until you were in your 20s. I have plenty of money, unlike other Hollywood celebrities or athletes that have not invested well. Maria is the best reason to come home.